Hey, happy lunchtime. How you doing? It's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Scrum. I said scum. Scrum. 5 a, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Hope you're doing well today. It's lunchtime. It's not the morning time. Crazy couple days, but it is what it is. So I wanted to do a show talking about the end of year because I know everyone's making plans and they try and do things. And I actually put a little survey up on my LinkedIn page about asking people how is their end of year looking as far as their team goes. And I want to offer you, this is a good time of year to spy on your team. And you might think, what do you mean, Greg? Spy on the team? What do you mean spy on the team? Spy on the team. Document some observations. And this is what observations. I can't talk yet. Oh, it's terrible. It's lunchtime. And what I'm talking about is this end of year stuff, right? Every year it happens every year. It always happens. Biggest thing and my biggest pet peeve is things happen on a daily, yearly basis, but nobody seems to correct or make it better and make it more easy for yourselves or the teams at the end of the year or these cycle things. So I'm a real proponent of pounding this in your heads. So now we're going to talk about spying on teams. So I'm going to talk about that here on the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. And I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And we talk about Scrum and Agile in a very practical and tactical way. So you bring more value to your customer, not so much spend so much time bringing that value to your customer and have a little fun. And it's in the year. And a lot of people get vacation time. I don't get vacation time because I'm pretty much independent. It's what I get myself as vacation time. You get some time, and always been there where people would burn vacation. I could say my wife right now has 40 hours of vacation time. Like, you better burn some of that. You never know what the new year is going to bring, new HR regulations or something. And she has been hurt by it in the past. So it does change, by the way. So people want to take their vacation. Maybe they can only accrue so much or save so much vacation, and they want to take time off. Or even better is when the managers say you can't take vacation because every day is so critical, so you have to work every day. And next thing you know, half your team is on vacation at the end of the year, and you're like, oh, how do we support everybody in our questions we normally have? Hopefully, half the other part of the building is on vacation too. But then you ask your customers, are they all on vacation too? And not always the case, right? Depending on your business model. So, why do I say spy on your team? Well, this is what I'm going to recommend you do. Because rather than tell people what to do, and as a coach or a mentor, I tell, as a teacher, I could tell you this is how you do it. As a coach or mentor, telling people what to do is not necessarily the best way of doing it, but I like to share data and observations. And when I'm telling you to do it this way, because I don't want you to tell the team you're observing, because if you ever remember Taylor's principles, the who gets observed does better, those who are being observed do better. So you don't want to tell anybody. So what you can look for is, okay, how many people are out on a particular day? How many people are taking vacation? How many last minute things? How many times people, you got this time as a scrum master, a manager, a leader. How is your team looking? How is your team set up? And you can measure how much time they're taking off. Also, how many things can't get done because people are one deep. And this goes to the depth. Like, how deep is your team? Do you only have one person can do databases? Do you only have one person can do front end work? Do you have only one person that can answer sales calls? Do you only have one person can make decisions? Do you only have one person that can read his code? Or if you're in a business, you only have one person who can take the money to the bank at the end of the day. And if they're not there, then you save $2,000 or a couple grand in your bank and your register, and someone comes steals it here in Philadelphia. Right? So if you only have one person can do it and that person's off on vacation, what do you do? Let your place get robbed and lose $2,000 and you can't pay anybody any bonus? That would be kind of stupid, wouldn't it? So the same thing goes in the team. So what you do, observe how well you're planning, how are they doing it? Are there key people that can't take vacation time in the end of the year because things happen? Or do you notice that everyone's taking vacation because everyone has too much vacation saved up? Maybe you can talk to your HR people. Like, what's the going rate for a rate of vacation for my team? I don't want any individual, but I mean, are they taking it? If you're a manager, maybe you can record that. Maybe not knowing that during the year and not knowing how much vacation they're allowed, as a manager, maybe this is something you should measure over time where, hey, they're not using a vacation at a certain rate or not using any. And in the end, they're all going to want to take it all the last 2 weeks of the year before the new year and take vacation. Then I have half my team on staff. What do I do? So what you want to do is take these 2 weeks and after the New Year's, whatever, however your organization is, and start taking observations. Don't tell the team, hey, I noticed that on this day, nobody was here. On this day, we had one person in charge covering everything. You know, we had to keep somebody asked for vacation. I couldn't give it vacation because they're the only ones who could do that. So therefore they can't go. Right. That was always a pop quiz question I asked when I used to train internal training, and I had like 30 or 40 people in the room, and I would ask them, okay, how many people think that they're the only ones who could do a certain thing on their team for their team? And the ones that are down, I say, guess what? You can't take vacation because you're the only one who can do it, because we can't afford to stop everything because you're not there. What if that person has a question or there's a bug or something needs to be fixed? Do we wait for you to come back? Well, no, we can't really. They'll be pissed. Imagine going to Wawa here in Philadelphia and order a coffee. Well, you can't have coffee because the person that brews the coffee took vacation today. Therefore, you have to wait until like they come back from vacation to get your coffee. And it ain't gonna fly, right? Multiple people can make the coffee. I hope they only have one person can make the coffee, then they're doomed. Same thing goes with the team. So spy on your team these next 2 weeks. Look at end of year EOF. By the way, if you do the spreadsheet, you know what EOF is, or database is EOF. The end of year, vacation times, holiday times, using up time, last minute vacation and stuff like that. Track it, document it. When you get back in the new year, this is something you can retrospect on with the team and say, look, here's what I wrote. Here's my observation. I was just observing, nothing, not criticizing or not taking anybody or picking on any one person or whatever. Sometimes people, be careful. People are going to say, were you spying on us, Greg? No, not spying on an individual. I'm looking at the whole team, how we can do better through the year. Should we be taking vacation throughout the year? Should we spread these out? Do we need any areas that need to be trained? Let's do a matrix of everyone what their capabilities are. Are we doing more pair programming so that anybody who did something during the year kind of knows what you did and they can fix it if something happens? Because during the holidays, we get a lot of spikes and stuff like that. People are home. They may surf on your website or your spy stuff or end of year or whatever. They're trying to make their final sales. They're all plugging away. And stuff happens. It just happens from sheer volume of it, right? So you may need to know that, but then you can take it back and review it with your team, but you have some data. It's just not, well, Greg, how do you know? Did you watch everything? Yes, I did. Here's the data. Here's how many days. Here many people were on staff on each one of the days. Here's what things were not covered or covered. I kind of looked at anybody take these vacation off, maybe even using a calendar. To be honest with you, I'm still amazed how many organizations don't use their calendar properly just to let people know they're going to be out. How many people were looking for, here's a good metric to measure. How many people were looking for someone for help and they couldn't find anybody, and they asked the question and didn't realize half the team was off that day, right? How would somebody on the team know that Greg was out today? Is there something in there that would flag that besides asking everyone in the room and pestering them during the day when it's pretty quiet and you get stuff done? Is Greg in today? Well, they should have a system to allow you to know Greg is out for the day, right? So those are the kind of things you can observe, document, and say, hey, we had some people, these many people were looking for someone, couldn't find anybody because their calendar's not updated. And maybe that you do one-on-one, by the way. You might want to go back and say, well, we had a couple people looking for you, but your calendar wasn't updated. We didn't know you weren't here or whatever it was. And maybe that's something you got to talk with HR, make sure HR knows you want to know this. How do we do? Is there any ways that you need to be mindful of when you do that for the team? Who knows? There might be some requirements. So I got to talk to HR if you really have to. If the team doesn't care, you can ask them, off to the side. Do you mind if we share calendars? Do you, is there anything issue you have with that? They don't have any issue, knows how to take issue. It's probably not an HR issue. Though if one person has an issue, you better check with HR, make sure you can do it. But those are the kind of things. So look at how many people are taking vacation. Look how much coverage you have. Look at what applications are being covered. Look what like functions like making coffee. If only one person makes the coffee for the team in the store, right, every day, and they're not going to be in, who's making the coffee? How are we getting coffee? Right? How do we plan those things? Are they running around with their hair caught on fire? Or if they have any hair, I don't have any hair left because they don't know what to do. So I wanted to share that with you. Spy on your team these 2 weeks. Make some documented observations. How many times do people look for someone they can't find them because they're not there? These are kind of things that you can plan with your team. Do more pair programming. Do better calendar management. Do better communications. Take vacations through the year. Are we taking? What rate are we doing it? Things like that. So with that, I want to say happy scrumming. Hope you have a great day. Hope your day is going well. Hope your time off is going well. And I want to wish you the best. With that, see y'all later. See you next time. Take care and bye.